Stormtrooper twice lined up in rows. Let's go! Reviewing each one with the passion it shows. It's so plastic to metal, he knows them so well. Stormtrooper swagger, his story to tell. Tune in for Bert, he's the toy expert. Let's go! From action to arcade, see the best displayed on Never-Ending.
Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original sketch turtles, and I'm really excited about these guys. I've been looking forward to this since I first heard the announcement about these figures. These are brand new and starting to hit store shelves right now as of the time of this recording. They are Target exclusives and they retail for approximately $15 each. So each turtle is going to go for $15 each. Taking a quick look at the packaging, we're going to look at all four of these, but we're just going to take a look at one of the boxes because they're all pretty much going to be the same. Open window box so you can see the turtle inside, which turtle you're getting. You can see some of the weapons. In this case, you got Raphael with his sai. You can also see one of the swords right there. We'll get a little more into that when we get into the figure itself. You got a little puddle of ooze right there with a broken canister, which is really cool. Original sketch reprint included. So each one of these turtles comes with a reprint of the original sketch of all four turtles. And what you can do is you can use the little ooze puddle right here as a stand to actually display that sketch if you want to do that. 40th anniversary or 40 years of Turtles right here on the top. Nickelodeon logo. You can see some of those again. This was the very first sketch of the turtle. It was only one turtle originally, and then there's another sketch of that turtle. And then they finally, Eastman and Laird, as the story goes, they just kind of went back and forth, trying to one-up each other with that sketch until they eventually came to this right here, which again we're going to see on the inside right there. So that's the sketch that's going to be included. Birth of the Ninja Turtles. If you want to pause and read that, I'll put that right there for you. And then along the side of the box, you got a picture of the figure that you're getting. Raphael figure based on the original sketch. Includes an original sketch reprint in a display stand over on the other side. Collect all four to recreate the iconic sketch. So another thing that comes included with these guys, you can kind of see it right there in the back, is a piece of a backdrop or a piece of a display stand, which can be put together to recreate that drawing right there. So without further ado, let's get these guys opened up and check them out. And here we have all of the turtles out of the box and with everything that they come included. And it's quite a bit of stuff, to be honest with you. You get a lot of stuff with these guys. So real quick, let's start with the piece that all of them bring. So each turtle is included with this little puddle of ooze with a broken canister on it. And they're all identical. They all have the exact same molding. So at this point, I don't know which one came with which turtle. I just have them in front of each, but I don't know which one came with which. And it's got a little slot right there, because the other thing that every one of these turtles comes with is a print of that original sketch showing the four turtles together for the first time. And what this does is it allows you to take the print and put it into the slot right there so that you can display it just like that, which is very neat. I only want to do it to one. I don't think it looks like it's pretty safe. I don't think I'm going to cause any damage to the print, but in the event that it does, I'm only doing it with one. But there you go. So you can see what that looks like. Very neat. I absolutely love that. If you have just one or a couple of these, then you can display this with your figure just like that. I'll put that there. So you can display it with the figure. If you have all four, you can display one with each turtle. Or I really don't know what I'm going to do with four of these, because I think I only want to display one of them. But there's options. There's options. These also work as really cool little play pieces, and I'm going to show you that here in a little while. But I'm going to go ahead and set those off to the side. The other thing that they all come with are their individual stands, and these you're not going to mix up. One of the really cool things that they did is that they actually labeled them. So if you look underneath here, you can see that one actually says Leo on there. So you know that this is the one that Leonardo is going to go on. These two are identical. If you look at these two pieces here, these are identical, and they say Don Raph underneath them. So one of each comes with one of each. So there you go. So that's what that looks like. And then, of course, this one here comes with Mikey right there. You got the little box right there. It also comes separate, so you can plug that in right there, and that's how you can get Mikey in a bit of a higher pose if you want to do that right there. And these are all interlocking, so the way these work is you got the little tab and slots right there, so you can actually tab and slot these like so to make a little diorama. Yeah, there you go. You can actually, I don't know if I can pick this up. I'm going to try. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. So you can make a little cool little diorama piece right there. You got foot pegs for each of the turtles right there. You got a foot peg up here for Mikey. So we're going to see how that works here in a little while. We'll go ahead and set that off to the side as well. Let's take a look at the figures themselves. They are approximately 4 inches tall. And as far as I can tell, for the most part, they're the same figure all the way around, with the exception of the bottom of the head. Like even the tops of the heads, you can see that the tops are separate from the top half of the head is separate from the bottom half of the head. So the bottom halves are different, and that's what gives each of them their individual unique expression. But the top half of the bandana and the eyes, even that looks to be the same mold all the way across, just painted in different colors as far as I can tell. And then the same thing with the bodies. The bodies all seem to be the same, just painted in different colors, and they each have different accessories here. I think the biggest difference would be with Mikey. He has the holster for the wrist-mounted nunchucks right there, and that's just a piece that they added between the forearm and the hand right there. So right where the wrist would be is a little piece that they've added that the other turtles don't have. But of course, the other turtles do have belts as well, and Mikey doesn't. So for the most part, the bodies are all going to be the same. Articulation-wise, the head is on a swivel pin, so you can move them up and down really well, and you can turn them side to side. Swivel pins on the shoulder, so you got up and down, forward and backwards, all the way around. You got a swivel pin at the elbow, or yeah, we'll call it the elbow since that's where the pads are at. You can bend it and you can rotate at the elbow. You can also rotate at the wrist. The legs are also on swivel pins. They don't go straight forward very far because of the way the shell is at, but you can also turn them so you can get nice, good side kicks out of them. And you got another swivel pin at the knee right there, so you can bend, and you can also rotate the bottom half of the leg right there. The bottom of the feet are hollow on all of these, but they do have those supports right there, so you can peg them into place. The details on these are absolutely fantastic, and I'm using Mikey because we can actually see all of the shell with Mikey, where with these guys we're going to be looking at accessories and whatnot. So I'm kind of showing Mikey right now to kind of show what the body looks like. So there is the front part of the shell right there, and then going around the back there you can see the back half of the shell right there. And you can see there's a little hole right there that would have been like where pieces mount onto, like on Raphael and Leonardo right there. That hole is used to attach those belts. With Mikey, they just put a plug right there. Very creative, very inventive. I really like the way they did that. Probably use the same with Donnie, or his. I assume Donnie's belt was not attached. It was just slung over his shoulder, but no, it's plugged in as well, and you can really see it on that one right there. So it's actually plugged in. So Mikey's the only one that they just put kind of a plug right there to cover that up. Very cool, very inventive. And these guys just look at Mikey's stance right there. Like completely unintentional, but that stance right there just looks really badass. He just looks like he's coming at you. I love that. I love when the turtles were all like badasses. They weren't just all goofy. I love it when they were badasses. Like all 4 of them, equally badass. I love that. I love that they got the little tails too. That's one of the things that I really love when the turtle has a tail. Those old classic designs. Absolutely love that. So, and again, you can see Mikey comes with his nunchucks right there. Very nice. The handles are done in orange with a painted orange golden tip, and actual chain right there, which he can very easily hold in his hands, like so. Or you can also mount, as you saw on the other hand right there, you can mount these to his wrist holders, gauntlets, I don't know. But yeah, this is cool because this also works as a really good way to block. If somebody's throwing a kick or something and you put your arm up like this, you're kicking wood, and that's going to hurt. So very cool. Really, really love that right there. So that's Mikey. Since we started with him, we'll put him off to the side. Here's Donnie right there. And again, same mold on the body except for the bottom half of the face, so he has his own expression as well. Done in that darker. This one he's just straight up brown. I mean, I know that, they want to give them all different colors and whatnot, but the original toys that we got back in '88, Donatello was green. He was like a darker brownish green, but he was green. And in the last few years, I always see Donatello's just being done in brown. It was so weird to me. It really is. The bow staff is pretty cool. I absolutely love how the wraps for him to hold it are not center. They're more to one side than to the other. That's really representative of that original drawing. And you've got that holster on his belt, so you can actually pop that right in there. And it holds really, really well, as you can see right there. And then, of course, you can take that out and you can give that to him and have him hold it. And man, these are super tight. These hands are like super tight. That works better when you just slide them through instead of trying to pop them in. And there you go. There's Donatello in a baseball bat stance right there. Very, very cool. These guys are super interesting. So again, Leonardo going all the way around. You got that belt that actually goes around his waist, we're going to call it. There you go. You got two ports on the back. So that's very interesting. So you got the two swords right there. And the swords are identical. You got the exact same sword. Love that long handle with a shorter blade. I really love that. That looks so cool. And then, of course, you also got these two holsters. Now, the holsters are different. You got one with a longer peg and one with a shorter peg. The one with the longer peg, the peg is actually at the spot where he tied it, which actually would be more accurate, really, than this right here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and tie those back here like so. See, that should be hanging like that. And then you can peg that one in. And you can put these in any, if you want to cross them, you can do whatever you want with these guys. But I kind of like to do this because, again, I'm trying to kind of follow the art. And what's cool with the swords is that you can put the swords in from either side, too. So whatever works for your display will work for you right there. So I like to kind of do that right there because that's kind of more representative of that original drawing as well. So that looks pretty cool right there. And then, of course, we're going to take one of the swords out, and he can hold those swords in his hand as well. And he's got enough posability. Actually, I thought this was so cool. We'll go ahead and take that out again. And we'll put the sword back in on this hand, and we'll bring it around the back of his head, all the way around like so, just like you saw in that drawing. And check it out. You can actually, there's something that's really cool is that you can recreate that drawing right there. So there you go. Very cool little pose right there. While we're at it, let's take Mikey. And we'll do this with him. We'll have that, and then we'll have him hold his nunchuck off to the side. We'll kind of get him into like a pseudo sketch pose right there. So we'll get that going, and we'll get Donnie standing like that, and then we'll get Leo standing like that, and he'll stand better. It's kind of an awkward pose, and you just saw him fall over, but once we get him on a peg, he'll be fine. And then finally, Raphael. I love Raphael. He looks so good. You get his two side with him, and of course, you can put those in his holsters like so. He's got two front-mounted holsters, just like that, going all the way around to look at his belt. He's got a mount back here for that sword as well. We'll get into that in just a moment. And then, of course, you can have him hold the side in his hand, just like he did in that original sketch. And I'm telling you, these are never going to fall off. These are so tight. Now, they did make the hands, as you saw, I mean, it's like super tight. It's kind of hard to get those weapons in there. So they're not pliable enough to do the holding the side through the blades, which is something I love doing with Raph. He can't really do it all that well. Actually, I'm kind of getting away with it a little bit here. Let me see. I'm kind of getting away with it a little bit there. But I don't know. It just kind of feels like I might damage it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to have him doing kind of like a downward pose with him instead. Just like that. And there we go. And I'm going to kind of just have him do that instead. Now, he also comes with the sword as well. And that's because in that original sketch, he was depicted with a sword. And again, it's the same style of holster. This is like the top holster, the one with the peg on the bow, the little tied bow right there. And you've got the same exact kind of sword that Leonardo got. It's just done in red details. And again, you can put it in from either side. It'll work this way. And it'll also work this way, which is very neat. So let's see. He had his sword coming out of his left. So we're going to pop that right in there. Come around the back right here. And just pop that right there. Like that. And we'll get him kind of in a... There you go. And that's kind of how he was posed. Similar. Of course, we can't do that exact hand pose or whatnot, but there you go. That's kind of how he was in that original sketch, which is very cool. So now we can bring in this backdrop right here and just start kind of putting our turtles up here. So we'll put Mikey up here first. And he kind of had like a downward look like so. Let's get these guys out of the way. Let's see, next we'll bring in Raph. We'll put him on this peg here. There you go. Donnie was back here. Both straight up and down like so. Like that. And finally, Leonardo. Let's see, we got to work him in there. It's not going to be exact to the drawing. Just so you know. It's not going to be exact to the drawing, but close enough. Check that out right there. We'll bring that in. Check that out. That is so cool. That is going to look so awesome up in my display. And of course, you can still use the other ooze and broken canister pieces right there. These actually look pretty cool if you put them here. They actually make really cool little display pieces right there. So even if you have the extras like I do here, they actually work out because you can put them on there like that. And I think that looks really, really cool. That's actually gonna that's exactly the way that I plan to display it right there. I said in the beginning of the video I wasn't sure how I was going to display. I think this is it right here. I think I'm going to have them posed like this with all the little extra ooze pieces with the art right next to it. And there we have one last look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first sketch turtles, all put together with the display and the little cards and everything. This thing is absolutely fantastic. This is a must-have for any Ninja Turtle collector or fan. They're absolutely stunning figures. They look exactly... This is like one of those things that I've always wanted since I was a little kid, just a good representation of that first sketch. This is absolutely fantastic, and they're really affordable at $15 a piece. If you see them, absolutely by all means go out there and get them. You will not be disappointed. This is a fantastic piece. I cannot wait to get these up on my display with the rest of my turtles. And I think that about does it for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first sketch turtles. What did you think of these figures? Let me know down in the comments. Give me some thumbs up, subscribe, share with your friends if you like what you see. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll talk to you next time.